Okay, so I know I don't usually talk about this, but I've had a few questions on it, and I don't feel like I'm an authority, but I can tell you guys what I've experienced myself. So, how to get strong. Um, I am by no means strong. I don't think I'm strong. I'm not. I'm not elite at all. Uh, I'm 5'9", 155 pounds, maybe 150 pounds sometimes. Weight kind of fluctuates a little bit. I squat about double body weight, you know, anywhere from 310 to 320, and I, I deadlift like 415 to 425. These are by no stretch of the imagination impressive numbers. Uh, they're just not. So I almost feel weird talking about how to get strong because it's not like I'm an elite level power lifter or weightlifter. But what I can share with you is I can share with you what I've done myself. So taking a step back and talking about programming, right? Truthfully, regardless of how complex or complicated your program is, all programming is just linear periodization. Okay, it's just linear progression. That's all you're doing. I don't care if it's undulating and it goes up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. The bottom line is that the long-term goal is to add weight to the bar. So we're just trying to work our way up. Okay, now that might mean you go up and wave load for 3 weeks, increase, 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 and then go down the fourth week, and then you wave load the again for another microcycle, or maybe you have some really complicated program of percentages and rep ranges and all this stuff like that. But the bottom line is, in the long term, your only goal is to add weight to the bar. So it's just a progression. Okay. So with that in mind, I'm going to talk a little bit about my own training. So the first time I ever snatched, I actually was using pounds bumper plates, um, which is almost blasphemous in my mind. Olympic weightlifting should be done with kilos. But regardless, I weighed about 135 pounds and I snatched 155, and I think I cleaned like 205. So pretty big difference there. Obviously, my technique was not good enough in the snatch to make a good snatch. So I snatched like 155 at a body weight of 135, which is actually that's, that's good by a lot of people's standards, um, especially for my first time. But I don't really feel like it was all that amazing because I had a pretty big strength base. I had been doing squats and deadlifts and all this stuff like that for years. I just hadn't done Olympic weightlifting. So, with my background of having all the strength training, I had a strength base to begin with. I did gymnastics and stuff like that, so learning to snatch was pretty easy actually. Um, I consider myself an athlete. I'm not a power lifter. I'm not a weightlifter. I'm an athlete. I play sports. That's what I do. So learning to snatch was just like, I don't know, like learning a backflip. It was just, okay, that's how you do it. Done. So in any case, I wasn't happy with those numbers because I'm never happy with any number. I always want to do more. It doesn't matter. If I squatted 800 pounds tomorrow, I'd want to squat 810. It just doesn't matter to me. No matter how high I lift, I have to do more. So in any case, when I decided I wanted to learn Olympic weightlifting, and I'm only make a point to throw the Olympic on there just so that people understand that I'm not talking about lifting weights or weightlifting with a space, weightlifting one word. Uh, when I first started, I really didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have any direction, didn't have any coaching. No one explained to me, oh, this is a Bulgarian program or anything like that. So my program was really simple, and this is why I'm going to share with you guys the whole point about like linear progression. I would just load a bar with 40 kilos because I got some kilo plates, and I just did a rep every 3 minutes. So every 3 minutes on the 3 minute mark, I would snatch 40 kilos, and I'd do that for an hour, and uh, and that'd be my workout. And then the next day, I would do cleans instead, and I would clean 60 kilos every 3 minutes on the 3 minute mark. And the thing is, once that got to be too easy, then I just increased the weight. So, you know, I started off doing a 40 kilo snatch every 3 minutes. And don't get me wrong, I missed a lot. I missed a lot. You know, you think, oh, well, what the hell? You snatched 155. Yeah, but I missed most of my lifts just because my technique sucked. So, okay, yeah, I made that one, but I don't even know how many attempts I took at it. I might have taken a dozen attempts at it before I finally got it once, just because of the fact that my technique was just so bad. So, I would even miss 40 kilo snatches, which are well below what my strength was capable of doing, but my technique was bad. So, I just needed more reps and more time under the bar. Every 3 minutes, on the 3 minute mark, snatch 40 kilos. Once that became easy and I'd make it through a whole workout and I wouldn't miss a single lift, and that took some time because, like I said, my technique was really bad. Then I moved up to 45 kilos, and it was 45 kilos every 3 minutes on the 3 minute mark. Then I moved up to 50. Now, this is where something kind of funny happened, though. For whatever reason, and there's no reason at all, really, other than the fact that it just was a dumb idea that just popped in my head one day, I decided to shorten the rest times. So I started off doing 50 every 3 minutes on the 3 minute mark. Well, when I made it through a workout and I did that without missing any, I went to every 2 minutes on the 2 minute mark. And that was a game changer. I don't know why that was such a game changer for me, but I guess it was like less time for me to recover or something, plus the fact that I got more reps in that 1 hour. That seemed to really, really help. Obviously, because I went from doing a rep every 3 minutes to doing a rep every 2 minutes, I was getting an extra 10 reps in. And so because I got that extra 10 reps in, my technique started getting increasingly better much faster. And then, you know, I just kept adding weight to the bar. It was like, okay, now that I'm at 50 every 2 minutes, when I went to 55, I went 55 every 3 minutes, and then I went to 55 every 2 minutes, and then I went up to 60, and 60 every 3 minutes, 60 every 2 minutes. And that was just the way I worked my way up. And it took time. It took time. Like, it sounds short. I mean, what did it take me? A couple minutes to tell you guys how I did that? We're talking about spans of months. Months of me just chipping away at it, and I only moved up when I finally made it through an entire session where I didn't miss a rep. And that's why Olympic weightlifting is kind of special, because there's so much technique to it. It's not just strength, but that's how I approached it. And I did the same thing with my squats, actually, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I basically did the same thing with squatting. I would just pick a weight and I would just hammer on it. I just keep doing heavy singles because I had this idea in my head that as long as I keep doing heavy singles, I'm just going to keep getting stronger forever. And I don't want to tell you that doesn't work. It certainly does work. You can just do nothing but heavy singles and you will make progress, especially when you're doing a heavy single every 3 minutes on the 3 minute mark and then going to a heavy single every 2 minutes on the 2 minute mark. It's probably not the best program. I won't tell you that it's optimal or that it's like the fastest way for you to get strong or something, but it does work. And that's the thing about, you know, all these different programs. They all work. Whether you're doing a 5x5 or you're doing Wendler 5-3-1 or, you know, whatever program you're doing, if you stick to the program, especially as a beginner, you're going to make progress. It's that simple. You are going to make progress. As you get into the higher levels, you know, you can keep doing those programs and you probably will make progress, but your progress, you know, it starts off really steep. Like, you make a lot of progress in a long time, and then it kind of just teeters down to the point where you almost kind of plateau. It may take you a whole year to put 5 pounds on your squat if you are at an elite level, okay? And I want to be really clear. Like, if you're at the point where you're only putting 5 pounds on your squat per year and you just started out, you're doing something wrong. You're either not eating enough or you're not sleeping enough. You're doing something wrong. But at the elite level, yeah, it's not uncommon for guys to basically plateau for a whole year and make very, very small gains because they're at such a high level that any improvement is just, they have to fight and grind for it. So this is going to be my first installment of talking about programming. That was just a little story on how I did it. You guys don't have to do it that way. You can do it that way if you want to. It certainly does work. But I'll get into more programming stuff. I'll talk about some more specific stuff later on. But I just want to give you guys an intro and give you basically just the concept that all programs are just linear. I know that, you see this stuff out there, oh, undulating this and, conjugate that, but in reality, the truth is you're just trying to add weight to the bar. You're just trying to go from point A to point B, and point B is just slightly higher. So just keep slowly adding weight to the bar over time. Regardless of all the up and down in the middle, the end point is that you want to be higher than you started. So linear. And I know somebody out there is going to freak out over that, but show me someone who's lifting with the intent or purpose to get weaker, and you know, I don't even know what I'd say to that person. Because everybody else, if you're in a strength sport, you're trying to get stronger. So there you guys have it. If you guys have questions, I will do my best to answer them. But like I said, I'm not an expert on this by any means. I appreciate that people ask me. I feel complimented. How do I get strong? I don't know, because I'm not strong. So I would tell you, ask someone who's really strong how they got strong, and then do what they did. But there you guys have it.